Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, find a way to lose, or you find a way to take it to the stupid like Malik Scott. Fire him. Put him up there, man. Tie him up, and let's to a tree and let's stone him. Yo, this guy. I gotta take a drink of water before I talk about this dude, man. This guy is a problem. Yo, he won't take it. This man assumes no responsibility for the degradation of Deontay Wilder's performances. Zero. Had the audacity to do an interview and say, I didn't hear anybody talking about Deontay Wilder and how he's moving now in the boxing ring after he knocked out Helenius, and how he was able to circle to his left and move to his right and set Helenius up for that big shot. Let me tell y'all something. Malik Scott must not know who Hood Champion is, because I was definitely talking about that, and I was definitely been talking about how y'all need to stop and pay attention. Wilder's ass got touched doing that stupid ass lateral movement and trying to throw that jab to the body like he's goddamn what's his name, man? Hearns, you know what I'm saying? Because Helenius countered him. And then when he got countered, he got on the back foot. And he just the stars just happened to line up where he threw that right hand off the ropes. So Malik Scott's wrong. A lot of people were talking about what is this unnecessary movement that Wilder's doing in the ring. It's unnecessary. You moving for what? Like he's just moving to move. Everything in boxing you do is for a purpose. You don't just do things to do it. It's just like in any other sport. You do things with a purpose. I'm always talking about boxing, and every now and then I'll talk about basketball. In basketball, the objective is to get this ball and put it in the goal. The least amount of dribbles to score, to shift your opponent. You understand? In boxing, the objective is to land a punch, to not get hit, to create opportunities for yourself, to make reads, to set traps, not just to run around in circles like goddamn Forrest Gump. Then he goes on to say, Father Time is undefeated, and he's got the big ass cigar in his hand and he's sipping on the goddamn Alawapsa, or whatever the hell that devil's tea shit is that they drinking and getting high on, right? It's a drug, but it's a legal drug. Some shit they get out there in the bush and they boil the shit and drink it and start hallucinating, right? Some crackhead shit that they done got their hands on. Or he drinking liquor, whatever it is. Big ass cigar, cup full of goddamn fire water, whatever the hell it is he's drinking. And had the audacity, you take ownership, man. Like that shit, like that drives me crazy. But you gotta understand my background too, man. You know, I come from my background is probably different from a lot of people on here. There's some who come from a similar background. But everything for me, when you're a person who's operating at that strategic level, and you're the person who's in charge, and you have all these people you're responsible for, there's no way in the world you would have ever heard me come out and make excuses about my team's performance. I'm owning that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's on me. I'm the one who took time to train them. I'm the one who took time to set policies and guidance. I'm the one who took time, man, to make sure we had everything standardized as far as, you know, how we do business in the office, you know what I mean? I'm the one who made sure that our policies and our ways of doing business were so good that it was benchmarked by other organizations, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one. I put the time in that, and I train and develop my people. So if we come and we get inspected, and in boxing, you come down, your trainee goes into the ring to fight, and they don't pass the goddamn test, you don't blame them. Because something happened there with your ass as the trainer. You dropped the ball. All this shit about, well, hey, I'm not the one in the ring. Deontay had to go in the ring. There's something y'all got to understand. Sometimes, that communication from what you're telling them, and when they're sitting in the corner, and then, when they go in the ring, sometimes that's where you have a bit of a disconnect because it's not that easy to do what you're being told, and they go in the ring. So, Father Time is undefeated. Deontay couldn't pull the trigger like he wanted to do. And, everyone keeps giving Deontay a hard time, and now everybody's giving me a hard time, but I like this boxing shit. But why don't we give credit to the effing opponent? What about the opponent? This is why I'm not giving credit to the opponent. Because just the same thing. See, that's Malik Scott's out, man. That's his out. Tyson Fury. He said the same thing. I ain't making this shit up. Everything Wilder tried, he tried to do, Fury had an answer. All the technicalities. The word he used, the technicalities. Fury had an answer. So you know what that tells me? If all the way down to the technicalities of what Wilder was trying to do in the Fury fight, and Fury had the answers, that tells me Fury had a better boxing brain than you, Malik Scott. Because Wilder, we all know his boxing brain is limited. He started at 19. Regis Prograis is another one. It's limited. But they're talented, they're athletic, they're powerful. But they don't have the boxing brain of someone who started boxing at 6 or 7. Too much time to try to make up. Okay? So they're limited. But if you're the guy who's been boxing all this time and you out here talking about, I've got the boxing brain, but I wasn't able to use what I know and put it out in the ring like Deontay Wilder can. So basically, like, I'm the brain and he's the body. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to communicate to him, the body, so the body can go out here and execute the mission. Hey, yo, City Slicker, chill with the fast talk. You too loquacious. Stop with the technicality bullshit. Nah. Fury got a better brain than you, champ. That's why Wilder lost. Because you obviously didn't know what to tell him to do any different than what he was doing, because Fury had answers for everything that you were telling him to do. And in the Joseph Parker fight, obviously, Joseph Parker has a better boxing brain than you, because everything you were telling Wilder to do, he wasn't able to do it. So nah. This thing about, well, we just got to give credit to Parker now. So then what we need to do then is look at you and seeing that your knowledge is limited, because now in 2 fights, which were, I would say, probably the 2 biggest fights for Wilder, he didn't pass the test, right? Because of you, Malik Scott. And that first Wilder versus Fury fight, that was a very good fight. Very nice, clean fight. Referee stayed out of it all the way up until Wilder knocked Fury out cold, right? And, a little bit of funny business, but Fury came back strong. Okay, that first fight, that looked like a pretty fair goddamn fight to me, except for that referee tongue-kissing Tyson Fury there to get him to wake up. The second fight, you just set that shit aside because there's so much craziness surrounding that fight. Who knows what to believe? I have an opinion, but, let's just set that aside. All right? That one doesn't count. Okay? But the third fight, all the rumors about cheating are out there, all this shit about secret society, everything is out there. So we should be prepared for this in this third fight, right? The third fight didn't look like the second fight. But what it showed me is that Fury, as far as his boxing brain, knew what to do and his team knew what to do. So they were just better equipped, strategy-wise, knowledge-wise, than Wilder and his team. Because he put somebody with limited boxing knowledge in charge. And you have someone with limited boxing knowledge in charge, and someone who's fighting with limited boxing knowledge, when compared to what's sitting over in that corner, that opposite corner that they're going up against. And it's the same shit that happened here. No matter who Deontay Wilder goes up against, because he's up at that elite level, he will lose unless he can land that big shot, because Malik Scott can't tell him what to do. And my understanding is Wilder didn't really do any sparring. 5-6 weeks out, you find out you got to fight. My understanding, he ain't doing no sparring. Just hitting mitts. Whose fault is that? Wilder's? I don't know. But what I will tell you, man, is to me, making excuses, Malik Scott seems to be a fan of making excuses. I'm okay. Wilder's not okay. Hey, I'm okay. I'm letting y'all know right now. It's not Malik Scott. It's Deontay Wilder. I'm not saying you shouldn't respect Joseph Parker as an opponent. Parker deserves a lot of credit. He's been active, and a lot of it showed up in the ring. But what I am saying is we should be looking a whole lot at Malik Scott, and he's showing his true colors right now. To me, he's showing his true colors. I don't respect that. I don't respect that. And even if he felt that way, don't come out here and say it. He should just own it. I would never do that. Never. Now, and I'm telling you from experience. I've been in situations. I'm going to give you a story, right? This is no shit, true story. Was in Korea, and we had these major inspections that used to come around annually, right? They go around throughout the entire major command. So there's, and you know, in the military, they got different bases and shit. They go, and each command has certain bases underneath that one command. So they were coming out, they were getting out, it's called a MAJCOM inspection, major command inspection. And in my office, I put everything in place, okay? Everything, to-do lists, everything. They had all the continuity books, everything. Months and months and months. Getting these people up to speed. Going through all the instructions, all the regulations, all the pamphlets, all the TO, technical orders, all the shit. To make sure they knew what all the explicit guidance was on why we do what we do. The inspection comes, right? And we had these things called time compliance technical orders. There were certain technical orders that came out, and they had to accomplish them in a certain time. So let's say it's like you have a car, and there's something wrong with the steering wheel on, let's say you have a Honda Accord. Honda Accords issue discovered with the steering wheel. So now a time compliance technical order gets initiated. You receive it in your organization because your vehicles have these kind of steering wheels. You have a certain amount of time to go out and accomplish what's explicitly put into this instruction, this TO on that vehicle. So go out there and check it. If you find this is the fix it. The document that's complied with, that information goes back up to the command, right? Anyway, they come out, they go into my section where we had about goddamn 50 of these time compliance technical orders. And some of them you got a year to do, 5 years to do. It depends on how many assets or items are affected by this technical order. And my guy, right, one of the guys in there, subordinate, this asshole didn't update his technical order, his time compliance technical order listing. So it shows the compliance date, like when you have to have it done. This is like December 2009, right? When the inspection is taking place. Asshole has the expiration date on there for several TCTOs that's like November 2009. So they're like, hey, let us see your TCTO listing. He gives them the TCTO listing. They look, boom, right there. This is the month of December, but you're giving me a listing that shows 3 out of these 100 TCTOs are expired already. And you're still showing that you have assets that haven't been complied with. Now, I went in the database and pulled it up and showed them, nope, they're signed off. But that didn't matter because our shit wasn't together. You know what I'm saying? They were like, yeah, I get it, but this is what you gave me. And when we come out here to inspect, this is what we have to go off of. By the time you gave me this, and by the time you show me it was complied with in that database, how do we know somebody didn't go in there and just sign that off? So I didn't argue because I knew what time it was because I was on the inspection team before. I knew that was going to be a huge problem. So anyway, dumbass comes in, he's like, hey, you know, man, I apologize. I said, we'll get through it. He left out. I went, talked to my commander. I said, hey, this is what happened. Commander goes through the fucking roof. He's pissed. And he knows the type of work I put in. When he found out who was the person who did that, he wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised either, but I made sure they had all updated printouts and everything on their desk. Jackass grabbed an old printout. See, because I knew, I saw that like a week prior, and I was like, yo, you need to update this. He printed out a new one, but he kept the old one on his desk, and the new one was on a stack of papers that he gave the inspection team. But the guy from the inspection team came back and asked for another one, and he gave him the one off his desk. And that's what they ran with, even though all that shit was updated. So when the shit hit the fan, I had to own it. But my commander wouldn't let me take the blame for that shit. But I said, nope, that's on me. It's my section. But you better believe when I was away from that section and I was talking about what happened with that inspection, oh, you better believe I was like, that mother bleep, 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 dumbass, bleep, 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 bleep. But when I would come out, like when we had to do an out brief, no, man, of course. I'm going to brief those fails. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to accept that. Y'all sit there. I'm built for it tough. You could throw that shit at me. I'll take that. You're not going to hit my team. I'll bust their ass. But when I watch Malik Scott, that drives me crazy because it's like he wants to get up there and be like, yeah, we're on the same team. However, I tried to make sure and he just didn't do it. And it's like you can't sit there and keep deflecting over to your goddamn guy. You're the one training. You're responsible for him, man. Get out of here. But anyway, y'all keep cool. People keep saying Parker was a dangerous, dangerous fighter. Dangerous, dangerous opponent on a short period of time. You know what's dangerous, dangerous? Malik Scott's dangerous, dangerous. Matter of fact, let me show y'all something. See if y'all can see this shit. This is old Malik Scott right here. Okay. 38 wins, 3 losses, 13 KOs, 2 of his losses by KO, 34% KO ratio, 6'5", 81-inch reach. When you look at the guys he fought and he lost to, he's lost to Luis Ortiz, he beat Tony Thompson, he beat Lepai, got KO'd by Wilder, he beat Young, got KO'd by Chisora, Glaskov got a split decision and he got some wins, So obviously there's something there to him. He just doesn't have the power in his shots. But as a trainer, I don't know. I don't know. I think Wilder should get rid of him, especially the fact that he's out here talking about, just Wilder. He just doesn't speak up Wilder enough to me. I don't know. I just don't like it. Some of y'all are gonna see things differently. You gotta understand. It's her champion character bullshit. That's just for these videos, but sometimes the real who I am come out. And that's what is kind of coming out right now because that shit drives me crazy, man. Nah, man, you own that dude's fails, man. You own it. You did that shit to him, man. I don't give a y'all. Anyone out there trying to tell me different, man, we ain't never gonna see eye to eye on that bullshit. Because I'll sit there, man, you can put me in front of the fire squad, man, and just riddle my goddamn body, man, with bullets. I don't give a shit. I don't believe in doing that. That's like having your child go out there and your son do or your daughter do something stupid. You're like, oh, that's on them. That's not me. I'm the parent. I try to raise them, and they say their prayers and they take their vitamins. Like, fuck out of here, man. In the breeze.